I remember I sat in my office and I had this big window that faced the western sun, and the air conditioning never worked in the afternoons, so it was hot. And we had the most spectacular sunsets. And I remember sitting there looking at the sunset going, I didn't so much think my life sucked. It was more, my life's hard. You know, it's really hard. And I don't want this for the next 20, 30, 40 years. But the trouble was that my business plan, my business model, which is all I have ever been taught to do, you do business models, you know, and you work to a business plan, you work to a business model, and, you know, you do your feasibilities, and that's how things pan out. My whole business model that I'd set up, which is what I'd done in all of my career, you know, that's what you do for ailing business, whatever else. I'd done all of that. It was at best a 15-year plan for me to be able to cut back to maybe 3 days a week. In reality, it was like this 30-year plan that ultimately I'd sell out and I'd have a very comfortable retirement and whatever else. But it was 30 years. 30 years of sitting in that same chair, saying the same thing every day. And I really looked at that and I thought, I don't want this to be my life. And when that reality hit and going, I don't want this for the next 15, 20, 30 years, whatever it's going to take, it was like a whole light bulb went on. Well, if you don't want that, what the hell do you want? And I looked at that and I thought, well, what do I want? And that was the turning point when I really decided, okay, what do you want? Stop whinging about what you got. If you don't want that, what do you want? And I'm very logistical. And I decided, okay, I'll work out what I want. So it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Typical accountant, you've got piles of paper all over your desk and stuff, so you push all that to the side so you've got a bit of spare desk. And I go, right, pen and paper, what do I want? I wrote, I want. I sat there for an hour and wrote nothing. Because you've got to pick up your kids at 6 o'clock. If you don't pick up your kids at 6 o'clock, they charge you $1 a minute per child. So I'm clock watching. And then I go, all right, well, what else? Tomorrow I'll do the same thing. That's what we'll do. I'll work it out tomorrow. So, you know, you work the day. 5 o'clock comes around. I allocated 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Get my piece of paper out. You know, get a bit of spare desk. Get my piece of paper out. I want. I did that for 2 weeks. Wrote nothing on the sheet of paper. Eventually, I got to a point where it's like, because I wasn't prepared to write anything on there. It wasn't just a waffly answer. It had to be something that I was going to make happen. And whatever I wrote, I then had to go and do all the logistical model planning to be able to achieve that. Okay, so I knew what the workload I was in for once I wrote something down. And eventually, after 2 weeks, I wrote one word. Do you know what it was? It wasn't wealth. Wasn't property, wasn't wealth, wasn't money. I wrote time. Because I realised what I actually wanted was time with my kids while they were little, not with my grandkids in 20 or 30 years' time.
So we have, on a annualised basis, we have absolutely, almost to the dollar, replaced our income